What's up, everybody? Here is Ross with Boxing Pill with a great rumor about Deontay Wilder and his possible fight in pay-per-view with a guy named Carlos Negron. And if you are like 99% of the population, as soon as you heard this name, you say, who the hell is Carlos Negron? And that's, a warning sign when we are speaking about Deontay Wilder possible opponents. Because, as soon as I heard that, I say, okay, who is this guy? I went actually on BoxRec, and, here it is actually. Carlos Negron is actually 34 years old. He's from Puerto Rico. He's 6'6". He has had 22 fights and 3 knockouts. But, if you go around, his 22 fights, especially here, he started in 2009, you see that he mostly fought in Puerto Rico. There are very few fights here in the US. Sometimes even fought in Santo Domingo in a gymnasius, whatever it is, Club Macateria. So, what it tells you is that this guy, isn't familiar with the big US fight. Not at least until 2017, which is actually the year where he started to fight in the US. And you can see here the names that he fought. The biggest name that he fought that are Dominic Breazeale and Brian Howard. And with both of them, he actually went knockout. It's worth noticing that, with Brian Howard, he went knockout at the first round, whereas with Dominic Breazeale, he went knockout at 9. And everybody knows the story about Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale. Don't we? Dominic Breazeale got absolutely smashed against Deontay Wilder with that terrific right hand in the first round. So, as you see here, this guy went knockout against Breazeale. He went knockout against Brian Howard at the first round. So what it tells you is why, if this is true, and if this is true, why does Deontay Wilder want to fight like that? Or maybe Deontay Wilder team? We should be asking ourselves this question. And the fight, as is written in the title, is gonna be, if it happens, is gonna be on pay-per-view. And pay-per-view, in the case of Deontay Wilder, is a warning sign. Okay? We have a guy that, lost against Tyson Fury last year in the rematch. Tyson Fury found the perfect technique to beat Wilder. He told everybody what he was gonna do, as he did with Vladimir Klitschko. The only problem is that no one, and I say no one, believed him, and then he did it. Deontay Wilder, his ego got a huge blow by the loss, and I still think he hasn't recovered yet, because he went on complete radio silence for pretty much 1 year. He posted after a few months ago, he posted something, an Instagram video, where he clearly tells you that he's having some mental issues, okay? You cannot accuse your trainer of spiking your water, Tyson Fury's team of cheating or whatever, basically blaming everybody but yourself. This is not a correct way to behave. And I think people notice that. So they say, okay, pay-per-view can be good and can be bad because it's a test to see how many people want to see you. This is not so much for the opponent Carlos Negron. This is more for Deontay Wilder. How many people still want to see Deontay Wilder after his year of radio silence? That's, I think, what pay-per-view is, because if we sell the fight and we see that people buy it, Deontay Wilder can have, better fights. Maybe he can be thinking about fighting Tyson Fury one last time. But if he doesn't get, good views and nobody wants to buy, basically his chances of fighting Tyson Fury or whatever, they may be over because no one wants to see him anymore. Maybe Wilder it's over. There are people that say on the internet, and rightfully so, that Deontay Wilder is 36, okay? He's going to be past his prime, or maybe has already passed his prime, so it's time for him to wake up and fight. You can say that we had COVID, this year, and, things got a bit slowed down. But now, especially with the match Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin, with a huge crowd in Gibraltar, I think things can move on pretty quickly. And if Wilder doesn't want to get ring rust, which is probably one of the worst enemy of a boxer, he has to do something. So, I mean, is this fight, going to be good? Probably not if it happens. I mean, what will be a better fight? I mean, against Ruiz will be a very good fight. I mean, I think the fight that everybody wants to see, it's actually Dillian Whyte against, it's actually Deontay Wilder, sorry, I would get confused. It's actually Deontay Wilder against Andy Ruiz, because, I mean, they are very good boxers. Andy Ruiz is one of the greatest scanner punches in the entire world. Deontay Wilder should pay his attention. They are at a very good level, and if they fight with each other, that would be a great boxing match. I mean, is this gonna happen? I don't know. As I told you before in the beginning, this is just a rumor. Take it as that. This is my boxing pill, let's say, for the day. Please, if you like the video, be sure to subscribe. Help the channel grow, that would help a lot. And I see you in the next video. Bye bye.